high banks of Daytona International Speedway, where all of NASCAR's greats have tested themselves and their machines over the years. In a moment, a field of 43 will take to the track as the 30th season of racing for the NASCAR Nationwide Series begins. Tony Stewart, one to watch. The last 3 straight, 5 of the last 6 years, he's gone to victory lane at the end of this race. Can he do it again today here at Daytona? Another driver to watch, Michael Waltrip, the 2-time Daytona 500 winner. He won last night's NASCAR Camping World Series truck race here with a last lap pass. Michael, of course, so much in the remembrances of Dale Earnhardt. Michael winning that 2001 race, driving for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated at the time. An emotional win for him here last night. No one would be surprised if Michael went to victory lane again today. He starts in 26th position. Marty Reed, Dale Jarrett, and Andy Petrie are upstairs getting set to call the race. Knowns and unknowns. There are so many things that the experienced drivers know that maybe some of the more inexperienced drivers are about to find out, huh, Marty?
Absolutely, Alan. Hello again, everybody. Glad that you're with us for another season. Experience versus inexperience. Dale Jr. maybe said it best in the pre-race and also yesterday after qualifying when he said, hey, even when I came here the first couple times, nobody wanted to dance with me around this track either.
Yeah, and we have some less experienced drivers up with some very fast race cars, and they may feel like for at least half of this race they have no friends whatsoever. But what they're going to have to do is become pushers, and good pushers, and show that they have the experience and the talent to make sure that they can work well in the draft with someone. They may be surprised by the end of things today that they might get someone pushing on their bumper by showing some courtesy out there, doing the right things throughout the day. They may get that push they need to get to the front.
Hey, let's be fair. When Dale Jr. came here for the first time, he wound up upside down on his lid. So there's a reason that people may not want to run with the younger drivers. But I do believe today, with this new drafting technique that we've seen in the new track, I believe that this inexperience is going to hurt a lot of these drivers. They're going to have to really learn quickly during this race to be a factor at the end, because the Cup drivers kind of got it down pat.
Well, let's talk about the other elements here. I mean, tire wear has been non-existent on this new surface, but the new closed-end refueling system, what are we going to see on pit road?
Well, that refueling system is going to be tricky, and we're going to see problems on pit road. I do believe that it could affect the outcome of the race, but somebody having a problem with it. The track is so smooth and the tire wear is so little that you're going to see all of the focus, if not most of the focus, on the refueling of the race cars.
Got just a few seconds. What about the temperature? It's going to be the hottest. Is it going to affect these radiators?
Well, it could affect the cooling systems for sure.
All right, well, let's go trackside, because it's time to fire the engines for the first time in 2011.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome today's co-grand marshals, winners of the Drive for COPD Behringer Ingelheim Employee Sweepstakes, Robert Patrick Sparrow, Kim Mills, Stephen Spencer, and Ronald Paul Frawley, along with the winners of the Drive for COPD Ultimate NASCAR Weekend, Chris York and Andrew York, as they deliver the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
It'll be best, because me and Trevor plan on that for a little while. The commitment line, and I'll hand him off to you, and you talk him into the box and back out. And then I will pick him up there so I don't talk over you in pits.
43 cars. Beautiful paint schemes, all of them new and all of them ready to race. And of course, our in-race reporter is going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr., driver of the number 5 Hellman Chevrolet. He's going to be starting in that 3rd position. And just flashing back to last July, that's right, in the Wrangler colors, sporting the number 3, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning his 6th time in the Nationwide Series as the fans paid tribute to his late father. Can he make it number 7 today? We'll talk to him when we come back. See if there's another emotional day for the Earnhardt family here at Daytona. Cars just rolling out onto this 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway under crystal clear skies and a wonderfully warm Florida day. For everybody who's been suffering through the cold, take a look at those conditions. It's going to be the warmest by the time we get deep into this race that it's been through the entire speed weeks. But as the 43 go out to take the pace laps, of course, we are getting pumped up for the 2011 campaign for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Of course, a lot of memories this week with the 10-year anniversary of the loss of Dale Earnhardt Sr. Do you realize that it was exactly 17 years ago today at this very track that Dale won his 7th and final nationwide race at Daytona International Speedway, the last one of his 21 starts. And of course, we talked about how Junior won back in July. If he does it again today, he could tie his father on the 17th anniversary of his last Daytona win. There's their starts, there's their totals, and of course, Dale Sr. leads all drivers. Let's talk to our in-race reporter. How about it, DJ?
Hey, Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have a copy?
Simple.
Hey, man, our first question is from our mailbag, and Dustin in Harrisburg, Virginia asked, with the new Nationwide and Cup cars being so similar, what can you take from the race today that will help you in the Daytona 500?
Well, we all know really that you need to be pushing the leader off forward to win the race, to have a shot at pulling out draft by him, and we're all seeing that's really how it's going to work. So, but you got to be in that two-car tandem leading the race at the end. So you got to race pretty hard, push hard all day long to try to stay up in that track position and give yourself that opportunity, and hopefully you stay with the same partner all day.
Hey, Junior, you kind of led to my next question is, it was going to be, let's fast forward to lap 119. You're saying you want to be in that second spot whenever you're coming to get the checkered flag?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we've been seeing mostly in the races here lately. It's easy, you know, you just pull out the leaders are sitting duck at that point. So that's probably a good position.
All right, Junior. You have a great day today. Thanks for talking with us. And now Andy's going to talk to your crew chief, Chris Heroy.
Simple.
Hey, Chris, Andy Petrie in the booth. You have us?
Hey, Andy, how you doing, man?
Hey, pretty good, man. We're talking about some of the strategy that we might see with this new refueling system and all the grip in the track. Try to give us some insight what we are going to see when the cars hit pit road.
You're going to see a premium of getting the car full and just maintaining drafting partners under green and quick stops under yellow. So something along those lines.
Will we see a lot of tire changes, or will you kind of bypass some of those today?
I don't know. We'll just have to see how they look.
Okay, Chris. Thanks a lot for talking to us, and good luck today.
Chris just is not going to share those company secrets with us. All right. Well, good luck to everybody out there. Our onboard cameras today. You already know we've got one with Dale Jr. as our in-race reporter. How about Tony Stewart going for 4 in a row? Danica Patrick, Kyle Busch, Justin Allgaier, Clint Boyer is going to start from the pole. Carl Edwards and Stephen Wallace all have onboard cameras here in the opening race of 2011. Now, the 22 of Brad Keselowski had to change helmets. He was back on pit road. You could see the helmet exchange, and this is the preparation that Penske has. I mean, they didn't bring one helmet. They had 2. So they are going to be able to get that fixed and get him back out onto the track, but he is still sitting on pit road as of right now. Let's talk about the calendar for the rest of the weekend. Sports Center following the race, 4 Eastern on ESPN2, and our NASCAR Now tomorrow at 9 a.m. on ESPN2 and 10 Eastern over on ESPN. Then next Saturday, 5 Eastern on ESPN2. We'll be coming to you from Phoenix, and the quarter milers get going at the NHRA Winter Nationals, qualifying 11 Eastern on ESPN2 Saturday, the final Sunday at 7 Eastern, also on ESPN2. Back here at Daytona on the final pace lap, across the top of the screen is the starting field. Brett Rowe, Jennifer Jo Cobb did not qualify for the race. Let's get the latest on that 22 situation. Vince, what's going on?
Got to have communication here at Daytona. Spotters team driver, that was the issue with Brad Keselowski's helmet. It was a wiring problem. They weren't able to communicate with him. He just mentioned a moment ago that the sound was way too loud in his headset. He was concerned about that, and they're also concerned whether or not they got the window net locked appropriately. So keep an eye on the 22 here in the early stages. Dave Burns?
Vince, if youth is served here today, it could be by the red number 1 of Landon Castle, whom we spoke to earlier. Only 1 start here in a truck race, only made 1 lap. But the 31 car of Justin Allgaier, also very quick, and some off-season testing taught him how to do this drafting thing. Jamie Little.
And because Danica Patrick has just 13 races under her belt, she's relying heavily on her team. This was her on the radio just moments ago.
All right, good luck everybody today, and I'll do everything I can to get all I can get out there. And Chip, Tony Jr., you guys just tell me what to do. You know, you're the ones with the experience, so just tell me what to do out there, and I'll do it. You know, just help keep me aware of what's going on, and we'll be good.
So the comments of Danica Patrick as the pace car comes down out of turn number 4, and it looks like we are getting ready to start the 2011 season. I hope you're ready because I know we are. The pace car pulls down below the line. Coming to the start, it's led by Clint Boyer, Landon Castle, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Danica Patrick. And the green flag flies, and the 2011 NASCAR Nationwide Series season is green. Coming out of turn number 2, you can already see a couple of the cars getting in that 2-car tandem hookup, namely the 2 Sprint Cup veterans, Boyer and Dale Jr.
Yeah, I'm real interested to see just how this is going to work. If it's going to work like we did with the Cup cars, you see Landon Castle now losing a little bit of touch of the leaders. Are these 2 cars going to be able to break away like we've seen?
And automatically, you see Landon jump in front of Danica.
Yeah, she's going to have to get up on that rear bumper and really give him a push. The draft is affected differently now with these new cars and this new pavement.
Clint Boyer's going to lead lap number 1 officially with Earnhardt, Allgaier, Logano, Kyle Busch. That is your top 5.
You see Justin Allgaier kind of stuck there by himself. He tucks it in line.
3 wide back in the middle of this field. We saw it last night in the Truck Series. Coming down the back straightaway again, and now we have 2 of those 2-car hookups. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, the teammates, pushing on the high side.
He got 4 veterans up front that have done this for a week now, so they've learned how to do it pretty well.
See Ricky Stenhouse there in the 6 car, stuck in the middle with no drafting partner right now, is getting help.
Change for the lead. Here we go as Joey Logano gets the push from Kyle. They'll take the lead on lap number 2.
When this 2-car drafting is done right now, as you see, they're going to switch as they got to the lead because that second car is running a little bit on the warm side. But when it's done right, it looks like they're 5, almost 10 miles an hour faster.
Yeah, look at this. Like this right here. You see Clint Boyer getting a big push from Junior.
Junior's got to get a little air on his radiator. We talked about the temperatures being warmer.
Look at Stewart.
Tony Stewart shoots up through the middle. He is getting the push now.
You know, the Cup teams have done a lot of research on how to keep these cars cool so they don't have to switch as often. You don't see that kind of technology in these cars, so they may have to do that switching a lot more frequently than we've been seeing.
2 drivers back here in this series. You see Sam Hornish there in the 3rd spot, Elliott Sadler in the 5th spot in that white car, looking to make their mark back here in this series.
Lap number 3, and we've had 3 different leaders. It's a 120-lap race. This could be a lot of fun today.
It's like musical chairs, and Elliott Sadler was left without a seat.
It's Stewart now, Marola. Sam Hornish Jr. is hooked up with Joe Nemechek. They're running 3rd and 4th. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, then Sadler. He is behind Casey Kane. Dale Jr. trying to lock up again with the 33 of Boyer. That's Justin Allgaier to the left in the 31.
Yeah, and he just took that split second. These 2 cars were out front just a minute ago, but Junior had to get a little bit of fresh air to his radiator. When they did that, they lost about 10 spots.
Boy, that was oh so close. Jason Leffler, you saw him wiggle there. Here we go again with another lead change. 4 laps, 4 different leaders. Kyle Busch, now the man up front.
You see Casey Kane now working the outside.
Tony Stewart down low. They're going to make it 3 wide again. You're on board with Tony. Joe Nemechek right alongside.
You see Casey Kane has his teammate. Jason Leffler's tucked right up behind him. Here comes Junior.
Joe Nemechek there in the middle with no help whatsoever. Tony Stewart doesn't have much. He's looking for Clint Boyer to get on his bumper.
You saw the 12 of Sam Hornish. He lost his dance partner as well. Change for the lead up front. They got to make the switch again. Logano goes in front.
That was textbook right there, how they made that switch without losing a lot of time.
Yeah, but look what happens. Here comes the freight train on the outside. Casey Kane, can he get to the stripe? He will not get to the lead. Joey Logano will lead this lap. 4 lead changes in 4 laps. You see Dale Jr. now. He has worked his way back up into that 3rd position.
Well, you see
coming up the middle. Here we go.
Against the wall.
Tony Stewart. He and Clint Boyer have hooked up, and look out. The 51 forces Stewart to check up. That was Jeremy Clements that was right in front of him there, and here we are again, 3 and 4 wide.
Danica doing a great job staying up in this lead group. See her right behind Jeremy Clements.
On the high side, you see the 3 cars there. That's Casey Kane right in that mix, along with Landon Castle, and then the 22 of Brad Keselowski. Still up front, it's Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Stewart, and Boyer. That's your top 4, and that's the first lap where we haven't had a lead change.
Yeah, I was going to say, first time somebody's led 2 laps in a row.
Sorry to disappoint you. Well, we were wondering how long they could do these 2-car tandems, and we're finding out they're starting early. Now you can see the 6 car. That is Ricky Stenhouse. He's trying to get help from Trevor Bayne.
Yeah, and Reed Sorensen back in that pack. He had to start at the back of the pack and is already working his way up towards the front.
Yeah, they had unapproved adjustments, something to do with the radiator hose connection that they needed to change, and so he started at the back of the pack and is working his way back. Here comes another rush towards the stripe. It is still Joey Logano with Kyle Busch right behind him, but Tony Stewart has closed.
Now you see how Kyle Busch is offsetting his nose just a little bit. Here comes Tony Stewart now making a move.
They're going to go down to the inside now, and all of a sudden here comes the change for the 18.
Yeah,
and they're going to get blown by.
Yeah, that change is going to cost them. Clint Boyer's last stone to Tony Stewart right there.
Wow. Can they keep this up for 120 laps?
Yeah, you see Clint Boyer doing that offset move. It's not quite as fast as if they were tucked in just in line, but they can keep that radiator cool and stay that way for just a little bit longer.
And yeah, I think what we're seeing here is just what you pointed out before this race, the experience factor here. These drivers have done more of this throughout the week, and they know exactly how to make this work.
You want to know the speeds we're flying, folks? 196 miles an hour so far, the top speed.
That's after they've reduced the restrictor plates, tapered spacers 3 or 4 times this week, trying to control these high speeds.
Look at this now, a 4-car hookup.
Be careful.
The guys in the middle have got to be wondering, what do I do now?
Yeah, this really hasn't worked that well, and the drivers tell me they can't see very well, and the cars get extremely loose in that situation in the middle.
Let me update 2 cars already off. Kelly Byers, Kevin LePage have taken it behind the wall. Our first 2 starting parks. That 4-car has now gone back to 2.
Yeah, and you can see what happened there as Kyle Busch got up there. He lost his partner, Joey Logano, for just a split second, and then Kyle wasn't able to hang on either. Now they're hooked back together. They'll run these 2 back down.
Now they have got about a second lead over the groups that are behind them.
I think Clint Boyer has been tucked behind Tony Stewart the whole race. I don't think he's actually had any real clean air on the nose yet.
Here they go again as you're on board with Clint Boyer. Tony Stewart leading that last lap. Boyer second, but for how long?
Boy, look how tricky that is to try to stay right on the bumper, right through the corner, inches from the wall.
Do not try this in rush hour traffic on the freeway.
Yeah, I was talking to a number of the drivers, and I was asking, which is the harder place to be? The driver behind and trying to stay right on the bumper, or the driver in front? They said that the driver in front has a lot more to do. He has to really make sure that he keeps that car attached to his rear bumper, so he's working extremely hard.
Okay, Clint Boyer gets his turn up front.
Here comes Boyer now, our pole sitter, as they make the swap. And look at what happened with both those teams, those 2 tandems, making the switch. It allowed everybody to close up. Brad Keselowski's now into the mix. He's got his old teammate, Justin Allgaier, helping him. And look on the high side. Whoa, 27, a little bit of smoke. He's being black flagged by NASCAR officials, we're being told. So, unfortunately for J.R. Fitzpatrick, looks like he may have some engine problems.
Yeah, not sure if it's an oil leak or oil line loose or the engine actually blowing up, but he's going to have to bring her to pit road.
You see those guys that were a second behind just a couple of laps ago now are starting to catch back up.
I'm going to get back to these guys here. We're just going to push them. I'm not going to try to pass them.
Fine. Tell me. Your car already pushing me out a little bit?
Yeah, simple.
That's the 2 drivers communicating with each other while they're racing. That's kind of different, Dale.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, you've heard spotters on your radio a lot, but talking to other drivers and telling exactly what you're going to do here is something pretty new. Drivers have communicated, but not nearly as much as what we're hearing this week.
Look at this side-by-side action. 4 cars going down the backstretch. Who's going to have the lead going into 3? It looks like it's the Toyotas. Let's get an update on Tony Stewart. Vince.
Well, guys, you talk about the fact that the drivers are talking to one another, and of course Clint Boyer and Tony Stewart doing that, but also the spotters are communicating with multiple teams as well, listening to channels of multiple radios. Just a moment ago, Bob Jeffrey told Tony Stewart, I'm listening to the 18 as they're coming up behind you. So they are definitely multitasking on the track and up top with the spotter stand today.
Kyle pulls out and around. They're going to make the swap again. Logano falls back in behind. That's going to allow that lead group to pull away.
Yeah, and you see the Fords working together there. Stenhouse and Trevor Bayne. You see Junior